welcome back to Morsels and Motors. Today you join me in the Xantia as I am driving home after dropping off a couple of my very good friends Russ and Jim to Stansted Airport this morning. The reason they went to Stansted Airport this morning is because they are flying to Amsterdam, whereupon they will be picking up a Citroen Ami electric car. And then they will be attempting to drive that Citroen Ami electric car all the way to the Hook of Holland port, which is about, I think, 80 miles. So I think it's going to be a bit of a fun adventure for them. Hopefully they'll make it, who knows. My role in all of this is that I will be collecting them tomorrow morning with a low loader from Harwich. We begin the adventure last night. Hello, so you join us where the story begins. Today is Wednesday the 9th of February, and I am taking these two reprobates, Russ and Jim, and I'm taking them for their COVID tests. Isn't that exciting? It's 2022. See you in a bit.
Good morning from Stansted.
Good morning.
We are on our way to get the Ami, which is in Amsterdam. It's about 7:30 at the moment, and we're tired.
Very tired.
Very tired. Look at these eyes. These eyes. I haven't had bags this big since that time I came back from Colombia. There are 12 hours to get to Amsterdam, pick up an Ami, and return to the United Kingdom because of COVID regulations. If we don't get back within 12 hours, we have to quarantine for 10 days. We've asked the seller to make sure that the car is fully charged, but it only has a range of around 40 miles and we need to go at least 55. Okay. So we put out a request on social media to find someone who could possibly be halfway between where we're picking the car up and where the docks are, and we got someone in Leiden who has offered us an extension cable from their kitchen, and they will charge the car up, and it will take 4.5 hours, which is a bit of a dent into our 12-hour schedule. Arriving in Amsterdam, Robert, who is another social media user who happens to have a Volvo 480, just happened to turn up and pick us up, all for the price of a parking ticket, and drive us to the docks, which was 20 minutes away.
Hello.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Comment ça va?
Arrived at the docks, and then we suddenly realised with no high-vis jackets. So Robert pulls one out of the boot of the 480. Unfortunately, not branded Volvo, but you know, these things happen. We go inside and we get the Citroen. Unfortunately, it has not been charged in about 18 months, so the full charge they've given it really is dying very quickly. So instead of having 75 kilometers range, it now only has around 58. Which will be a real scrape to get to Drew's in Leiden to get the top-up charge to get us to the docks. We have left the docks. There is 55 kilometers of range now. The top speed is 28 miles per hour. We are in the middle of the industrial area. We're driving along, there's a huge truck behind us, and we're realizing we've probably made a terrible mistake. So the Ami is a quadricycle, which technically is just a big bicycle with a roof and doors and windscreen wipers and headlights. So we assumed that we could just use it on cycle paths, which kind of worked.
Yeah.
With the Ami not having been charged in so long, the battery was just not conditioned, so we were really having extreme range anxiety. Okay, we got a battery light, we've got 11 kilometers to go, 2.4 miles to the next charge. Not stressed, not worried, everything's okay, it's fine.
Turn right onto
We actually got to Drew's with only 6 kilometers left on the clock. If it had went down to 5, it goes into super turtle mode and it just slows down to basically a walking pace.
Time for me to step in now for my little task in this mission, which is to go and get the low loader.
So Russ took over driving the last stage, which was the final 27 miles to the docks. And we really tried to stick to the cycle paths because it was getting dark, visibility was quite bad, and it was so cold the windows are misting up. The Ami does have a very basic heater, but it does seem to zap a lot of power, and we just didn't know how far we were going to get. So today on Is This a Road?
I'm really exploring the limits of the grip here.
I'm going to say no. No, not a road.
Not a road.
No. So for all our worries, amazingly we arrived at the docks with 3 hours to spare, even though we had no idea what the battery condition was like, what the weather conditions were like, or where the roads went. At one point we did find out that we were actually going on a beach path, so there was a last minute reroute which added a few extra kilometers on, but we did make it in time to get a drink in the bar. Yes, we made it. There's wine. Cheers. 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 Cheers.
I arrived at Harwich McDonald's at about 8 AM, where I was reunited with the boys and got to meet the Ami. The boys, understandably, were absolutely shattered after having only a few hours sleep on a rocking boat crossing the North Sea. Therefore, we forgot to take any footage of loading the Ami onto the truck, but let it be known that Jim did a fantastic and sterling job. I lashed the Ami down and off we set for the journey back to Cambridge. After all the off-roading the boys had done in the Netherlands on the cycle paths, we decided to give the Ami a wash, and of course Jif is the best method for washing a car that is essentially made of the same stuff as a Portaloo. Okay, so this is my initial first drive of the Ami, and I don't really know what to make of it. I'm really confused. It feels massive, actually. That's my first impression. There's so much car in front of me. And then my other impression is I don't have a rear view mirror, like a centre one. And that really is annoying me, because I can't see what's behind me. But yeah, it's a It feels like I don't want to go maximum speed because that feels naughty, but that is still only 28 miles an hour, which is well within the speed limit of where we currently are. It's so cool. The Ami's many storage facilities include a very handy shopping bag holder and a baguette shelf. Bonjour.